And right now with a major development in the explosion of Bar 5015 5 years ago that was caught on camera. That popular spot blew up 5 years ago, scattering debris all over the place.
Yeah, and this afternoon, 3 arrests in this case, including the former owner of the embattled turkey leg hut. Lyndell, Lynn Price, is accused of paying people to send that bar up in flames.
Price and his alleged accomplices appearing in federal court in the last 2 hours. Jason Miles live there with the latest details. Jason.
Hey there, guys. Yeah, I just got word that Lynn Price will be held in federal custody until a detention hearing next Thursday. Meanwhile, 2 alleged accomplices heard charges against them this afternoon before being released pending their next court dates here in federal court. Take a look. Lyndell, Lynn Price's indictment is for conspiracy to commit arson of a commercial building, that bar, and conspiracy to use an interstate facility to commit arson of a vehicle. Now, according to investigators, Price plotted to set fire to Bar 5015, which was owned by another former co-owner of the Turkey Leg Hut. I covered that fire nearly 5 years ago, which resulted in a big explosion, as you mentioned, at the bar out on Alameda Road. The FBI says Lynn Price allegedly recruited and paid co-defendants Armani Williams and John Lee Price, no relation, and others to pour gas in the bar, then set it on fire. In a separate incident, Lynn Price accused of paying John Lee Price and others to set fire to a stolen car. We spoke with John Lee Price's attorney just a short time ago. Here's a little bit of what she had to say.
This is a classic example of being very mindful of the company that you keep. Sometimes the company that you keep can get you in trouble.
John Lee Price is also facing federal charges in an unrelated drug case over in Mississippi, which his attorney did not want to discuss. If convicted, all 3 men face up to 20 years in prison, a $250,000 fine for the arson-related charges back here in Houston. You may recall, and all of us covered stories from time to time, that Turkey Leg Hut was basically the toast of the town at one point, but it permanently closed last December thanks to a court-ordered lease termination. Of course, that followed several lawsuits, a bankruptcy, even health code violations. Reporting live from federal court downtown, Jason Miles, KHOU 11 News.
The once popular Houston restaurant. Good afternoon, I'm Lisa Hernandez.
Adam Andy Sirota, KPRC2 was the first this afternoon to report indictments against the former owner of the Turkey Leg Hut. Lyndell Price was arrested Thursday on multiple charges, accused of paying someone to burn down a business partner's restaurant.
That fire. He was arrested yesterday, a source tells me, during a traffic stop after he left his girlfriend's house in the Katy area. And when they took him into custody, that source says that he was in tears. Take a look at this video we have from that fire that happened back in June of 2020. People nearby say that they felt an explosion when that happened, and surveillance video captured masked men pouring fluids around the bar before it went up in flames. Buildings and homes near that scene also had damage. And according to the federal indictment just unsealed, Lyndell, or Lynn Price, conspired and paid others to burn the place down. Armani Williams and John Lee Price, who is not related to Lynn, allegedly bought gasoline, gas cans, and face coverings at a truck stop, and then they drove to the bar early in the morning back in June of 2020 and started that fire. 3 minutes after the fire ignited, the indictment alleges that Lynn Price got a call that the arson was complete. He allegedly paid them later that day, and federal prosecutors allege that Lynn Price targeted a former co-owner of the Turkey Leg Hut and his own business partner, all for financial gain. So John Lee Price and Armani Williams have been released on bond this afternoon, but Lynn Price is being held in federal custody. We did see him in the courtroom today. He was handcuffed and shackled. His mother was also in the courtroom. She didn't want to say anything to the cameras as she left later on, but he will be back in federal court next week for a detention hearing that'll determine what happens going forward. He does face up to 25 years in federal prison, and prosecutors say that additional unnamed people have also been charged in this arson, this conspiracy. However, they have not yet been arrested, so they have not yet been identified. We are live downtown this afternoon.
Black people, what is wrong with my people? I keep telling y'all, they got everything on camera. Everything is under surveillance. You are going to jail. They're going to catch you. Even if you have a mask on, They got you riding to the place that you're going to commit the crime. They got you getting in your car and riding back to the hideout or wherever. They got you. They got your car. They got your license plate. They got every aspect of you. They're going to catch you. All they need to do is catch one person. And once they catch one person, that other person's going to tell. So we're talking about 42-year-old Lyndell Price, right? Now, y'all remember he was the co-owner of the Turkey Leg Hut. Y'all remember the Turkey Leg Hut was made famous after, like, the girls was twerking all on the table and busting it wide open. And I guess he was the one that came out and cussed them out and all kinds of stuff, right? Man, listen, man, this thing gets real goofy. So now this guy is indicted for arson because I guess one of the owners, they broke off and they opened up the 5015 restaurant. And you can see here, these guys on video doing the arson, burning the whole place down. Now, mind you, this is like a multi-million-dollar block where a lot of black businesses are and black businesses frequent. Now, we just saw that video where everybody was going crazy on Wallow when Wallow was talking about black businesses and the black business scam and, you know, how you know, he's not supporting a business just because it's black, right? So, like, you know, there's a lot of goofiness that comes along with this. So now this guy is indicted. He's in jail. There's a whole bunch of people snitching. It's news all over Houston. Everybody's talking about this. But let's get off into some of this, right? Former Turkey Leg owner arrested. What we know, former Turkey Leg owner, a hut owner, 42-year-old Lyndell Lynn Price was taken into custody on 2 charges: conspiracy to commit arson of a commercial building, conspiracy to use an interstate facility. Conspiracy to use an interstate facility to commit arson of a vehicle. So that means that they set a car on fire. 2 other people were also taken into custody: 39-year-old John Lee Price, right, and 27-year-old Armani Williams. Both suspects are also charged in a conspiracy to commit arson. And John Price is also charged with conspiracy to commit arson of a vehicle. Man, this thing gets real crazy, right? Then you have Williams. Both suspects are charged with conspiracy to commit arson. Wait a minute. According to the U.S. Attorney's Office, Lyndell Price is accused of firing to set fire of a bar 5015, which exploded June 2020. Price allegedly recruited John Price and Williams, amongst others, who then poured gasoline on the bar's entrance ramp before igniting the fire. Man, these guys are going all the way to jail, man. Charges allege that the owner of the bar 50 was another former co-owner of the Turkey Leg Hut and Lyndell's Price business partner. For the building arson charges, each suspect faces up to 20 years in prison, 20 years in federal prison, and a fine up to $250,000. In addition, Lyndell and John Price are accused of setting fire to a 1975 Chevy Nova in April 2020. Both were charged with arson to a vehicle, which would add another 5 years to their potential sentencing. Man, this thing gets real goofy. Lyndell Price is expected to make a court appearance at 2 p.m. on Friday. We will update this report when more information is available. Man, these guys, man, this is crazy. But like I said, these are black business owners, man, black business owners. Right down there in Houston. Houston is like a black city. It's becoming a black mecca. You got a lot of black people down there, and this puts a black eye on it. Like I said, Wallow just went viral for talking about black businesses, and all this does is give black people another reason to say, "See, that's why I'm not going over there messing with that nigga, that you know what stuff. I ain't messing with them. Look at how." Listen, this guy's in the feds. My whole thing is, why if y'all separate, why you are you locked up for burning down the store? Why do our people got to constantly, this ain't even the Pookie and Ray Ray stuff. These are business owners with $1 million businesses. What are y'all doing? Like, what's wrong with my people? I ain't talking about nobody else. I'm talking about black folks. What is wrong with us, man? On so many different levels. It's just tiresome. It's just tiresome, being black first, being pro-black, always having to defend our people against my own people. Because some of the biggest detractors to black folks is black folks. Because a lot of black folks is tired of our people. It's tired of our behavior and the way that I just don't like this kind of stuff. Then they say that he has a drug charge in Mississippi. This dude just had a whole bunch of stuff going on, man. This dude just had a whole bunch of stuff going on. And now there's a bunch of people charged and indicted, right? And I hope that now what I'm hoping, because I'm hearing that that's a multi-million-dollar block where there's a lot of businesses. I hope that the feds ain't probing and looking into all the other businesses to try to get those black businesses out of there so other groups can come in and take over. Next thing you know, that block is filled with nothing but people that don't look like us. So, man, we got to figure it out, man. So this dude, former owner of the Turkey Leg Hut, y'all remember the Turkey Leg Hut went famous when they was on there twerking on the tables and acting a double dog fool. Now it's not open no more. It's permanently shut down. The other restaurant is burned down. And it just is what it is, man. I'm going to cut this video short here, man. If you made it this far in the video, hit that like button. Subscribe to Street Media TV. Leave your comments in the comment section. Let me know what you guys think. Remember, I love y'all. Till the next time. Peace.